Have you ever wondered what truly matters in life? Most people don't find out until it's too late. Welcome to the final lesson. I'm Lauren Bennett. I'm 70 years old, and I want to tell you something that took me 7 decades to understand. We spent our lives chasing the wrong things. I grew up in Ohio in the 1970s. Life was simple, structured, safe. School, college, marriage, job, house, that was the roadmap. And I followed it perfectly. By all measures, I was successful. People admired me. I had a beautiful house, a good job, and a family. But success had a hidden cost. It slowly stole my time, my relationships, my presence. And the first time I realized it, it nearly broke me. The night my father died, I wasn't there.
Life taught us early a very simple promise. Work hard, climb the ladder, buy the house, retire happy. We believed it with all our hearts. I was a good student, an obedient daughter, a loyal friend. I followed every rule, never asked questions, never took shortcuts. I thought, if I keep going, if I keep climbing, happiness will be waiting at the top. But here's the thing, the higher I climbed, the farther the finish line moved. A bigger promotion, a nicer car, a house in a better neighborhood. And each time I thought, this is it. I've arrived, life whispered, not yet. There's something else ahead. Do you see what I didn't? Happiness wasn't waiting for me at the top. It was quietly slipping through my fingers while I chased it, chasing something I didn't even understand.
Started missing birthdays, school plays, small moments at home. I told myself, it's for the future. I'll make up for it later. But later never came. By 29, my father got sick. I promised myself I'd visit, but I was too busy. Work, meetings, deadlines. Then one night, the call came. He was gone. And I wasn't there. Not for the last moments. Not for the goodbye.
Have you ever thought you learned your lesson, only to realize later you didn't change at all? That was me. My father's death should have slowed me down. It should have woken me up, but it didn't. It only made me sad, not brave. So I did what most people do when pain feels too big. I went back to work. Longer hours, more projects, more deadlines. I buried my grief under productivity. Let me ask you something. When you're hurting, do you slow down or do you distract yourself? Because distraction is one of the most dangerous drugs there is. The addiction to achievement. I told myself I was being strong, but really, I was running. Every promotion felt like proof that I was doing something right. Every raise felt like validation that I mattered. And I was desperate to feel like I mattered. Do you know what's scary? When the world applauds you, it's easy to ignore the quiet voices at home. My boss knew my name. My clients knew my value. But my children barely knew my face. The life everyone envied. By 40, I had everything people dream about. A big house in a nice neighborhood. A reliable car, a career people respected. Friends would say, "You've really made it, Lauren." But do you know what they never saw? The empty dinner table, the quiet bedrooms, the way my house felt more like a hotel than a home. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a room full of people and still felt completely alone? That's what success felt like to me.
My kids grew up while I was busy. They stopped asking me to come to their school events. Stopped showing me their drawings. Stopped telling me about their day. Not because they didn't love me, but because they learned I wasn't really there. One night my daughter said something I will never forget. "Mom, do you even know who my best friend is?" I didn't. That moment hit me harder than any failure ever could. And then there was my husband. We didn't fight. That was the problem. We became polite, careful, distant. We talked about groceries and bills, not dreams and fears. Do you know what hurts more than an argument? Silence. Silence means someone already gave up.
That's when I realized something brutal. Success can make you admired, but it won't make you loved. People clapped for me at work, but nobody waited for me at home. I was winning everywhere, except where it mattered most. Let me ask you, if you disappeared tomorrow, who would really miss you? Your coworkers or your family? Every day, I made small choices. Stay late, take another call, miss another dinner. They didn't feel important at the time, but they were stealing my life. Because the people who matter don't leave all at once. They fade, one missed moment at a time. At 52, my mother got sick. She was gentle, soft-spoken, always waiting for me to call. I kept telling myself I would visit her soon, after this project, after this quarter, after things slowed down. But they never did. Then one afternoon, my phone rang. The hospital. She was gone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where everything you believed suddenly felt wrong? That was mine. I was standing in a hospital hallway, staring at a door I was too late to enter. And I realized I had missed both my parents' final moments. Not because I didn't love them, but because I loved my job more. Or at least, I acted like I did. That night, I went home. The house was quiet. No emails. No meetings. No noise. Just me. And for the first time, I asked myself a question I had been afraid of my whole life. What am I actually living for? Because everything I thought mattered suddenly felt small. That night, alone in my kitchen, I finally saw the truth. I had built a life everyone admired, but I had lost the life I actually wanted. And the hardest part? I didn't even know who I was anymore. Have you ever sat in silence and realized you don't recognize the life you built? That was me. That night, after my mother died, I sat alone in my kitchen. No phone, no noise, just a ticking clock. And for the first time in decades, I felt something I couldn't escape. Myself. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat quietly and listened to your own thoughts? Not music, not TV, just you. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Because in silence, the truth gets loud. The moment I broke, I looked around my beautiful home. The expensive furniture, the clean floors, the framed awards on the wall. And none of it comforted me. Do you know why? Because you can't hug a paycheck. You can't talk to a promotion. And you can't cry on a title. That night, I cried for hours. Not just for my mother, for the woman I used to be, for the daughter I failed to be, for the years I gave away. Let me ask you, if you lost everything tomorrow, what would you really miss? The lie finally fell apart. I finally understood something. I didn't waste my life in one big mistake. I wasted it in a million small ones. Every I'm too busy, every maybe later, every next time. They stole my time and I let them. We don't lose our lives suddenly. We trade them away quietly. That night, I asked myself one simple question. If I only had 1 year left, would I keep living this way? And the answer was no. Not just no. Hell no. So I made a decision. Not a dramatic one. Not a perfect one. A human one. I chose to start living. What I changed, I called my children. I apologized. Not for being tired, but for being absent. And for the first time in years, we really talked. I visited my husband. We didn't fix everything, but we started telling the truth. And truth is where healing begins. Now I'm 70, I don't chase anything anymore. I sit with people. I listen. I feel. And I finally understand life is not about being impressive. It's about being present. The final lesson, so let me ask you something. Who are you ignoring right now? Who keeps waiting for your call? Who would give anything for 5 minutes of your time? Call them. Not tomorrow. Now. Because one day, you won't get another chance. And the things you thought mattered will be gone. But love is what remains. Welcome to the final lesson.